Bobbin 15, class 15 on my left, 66 on my right. The 66 is not full with thread, this one is full with thread, and this is the answer, which one holds more thread. Perhaps it's fairly obvious. So basically I'm aligning the bottom face here with the bottom face here, because the 66 class, it has round faces. So even if they appear to be almost the same width, if you want, thickness, because the faces on the 66 are round, the inner space, the inner gap, it's smaller. So I'm aligning the lower face here with this one, and you can tell that the 15, my left, holds, not easy to say, perhaps 20-30% more thread. But also if you look from the side, so again the class 15 has flat faces, both of them. Class 66 has rounded faces, and class 66, I know it's for, well, it's for several brands, each of them. This one is for Singer machines, vintage one, except the 301 and the featherweight. Featherweight will just use different bobbins, 2 to 1. So this is for the Singer machines from maybe 70s, 60s, maybe 70s, 80s, so on. This one I know they fit on Japanese machines from the same era, vintage, but also on other models. But you just need to look for your machine model and just make sure on internet which one fits. They are not interchangeable. You cannot use one for another one. I think the center hole is going to be the same width, but because of the width of the bobbin, maybe you can try putting 66. If you ever miss the right 15 bobbin, maybe you can try using 66. I don't know if it's going to work, but for sure the other way is not going to work, 15 in place of 66. But also I was saying that the width of, I'm not sure how to call this dimension, the diameter, it's slightly more on the 15 one. So if I put them side by side, and I'll just align them on my thumb here, the bottom thumb, you will notice that the 66 is not, it has smaller diameter than the 15. So again, the 15, just because of that part, also gets more thread. I would say at least 30% more thread in this. Now this one, it's too full, was just, I purchased it like this. I don't think you are going to put that much thread on a bobbin, because at some point it's no longer going to rotate. Also you have the notches for the bobbin winder on both of them. I don't know the brands for this, but there is an issue, I believe, with 66 class bobbins. When you want the new ones, aftermarket ones, when you want to put it on the winder, sometimes the hole here, it's too small for the winder shaft if you want to refill with thread. Depends on the brand, I think. Well, another question is, do you prefer, basically, because I cannot say do you need or you have to, but do you prefer plastic or metal bobbins? My personal take on this is plastic ones. One of the reasons, I think it's obvious, you see how much thread is in there at any time. Metal one may have holes on the side, but not always, so you don't, I don't know, it's just a quick check, but it's not really important, because oftentimes you are going to run the bobbin until it's empty. But one of the reasons I like plastic is just that they are kind of light to keep in hand. But also the metal aftermarket ones, depends how they are built. We do have people reporting that, depends on the class of bobbin and the brand. Cheap Chinese aftermarket metal bobbins are not the right size. They may not rotate, they may get stuck in there. And also if you look, I don't have it here, but if you look at some metal bobbins, the way they are made from 2 pieces, or sometimes even 3 instead of a single piece, and you have this side part which is stuck, or if you want, locked onto a center piece here, and those may not be very nicely attached together, and they kind of wobbling. That's why this is just another reason why metal bobbins, depends what quality you have. A last thing perhaps is the downside with plastic bobbins is simply they are so light in hand. So depends on a person, but maybe some person may have a small shake in their hands, depends on the age. These things, you are going to drop them on the floor, and then they obviously like to roll on the floor, under the table. You get the point. So a metal one is going to be slightly heavier in hand. It's kind of, it's there, so it's perhaps easy for some people to handle them. Other than that, it's just bobbins, so it's inexpensive. The plastic ones also, I think they are going to be, depends on the quality, but less expensive than the metal ones. I don't think, just my personal take, I don't think metal versus plastic is important from the quality of the stitch or the way the machine operates. I think it's perfectly interchangeable. Although I do remember reading, I think, a specific sewing machines that the manual says use metal bobbins. I don't think it's that, personally, just maybe it's up to you to test both types of bobbins, plastic versus metal, but I don't think there is anything in a metal bobbin that will make it work differently than a plastic one. Even the weight of the bobbin, the metal one, the bobbin rotates fairly slowly. It's not a high spinning object in there while you are sewing, so I don't see where is the difference from an operating point of view between plastic and metal. But again, some people may disagree with this point.